Hello everyone, welcome back to Screen Time with Azhar. Today we are diving into one of the most exciting anime release of 2025, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. This is not just another anime movie, this is the beginning of the final battle in Demon Slayer and the start of the movie trilogy that will wrap up the entire story. In this video, we will cover everything from the story detail, the cast, behind the scene production, fan reactions, reviews, box office success, and even future prediction for part 2 and 3. So grab some snacks because this is going to be a deep breakdown. By the end of this video, you will know everything about Infinity Castle and why it's such a massive deal. But before we jump in, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notification so you don't miss any of my anime updates. Alright, let's go. First, let's talk about what Infinity Castle actually is. If you have been following Demon Slayer, you know that after the Swordsmith village and Hashira training arcs, the Demon Slayer troops are preparing for the ultimate showdown with Muzan, Kimetsu, the main villain of the series. Muzan has a secret dimension called the Infinity Castle. It's a bizarre, endless, moving castle controlled by his loyal demon, Nakimi, who can shift the rooms and trap enemies inside. The Infinity Castle arc is basically the final battleground of the series. This is where the Hashira, Tanjiro, Nezuko, Zenitsu, and Inosuke all fight against the strongest upper-ranked demons. In the manga, this arc is considered one of the most intense and emotional parts of Demon Slayer. Fans have been waiting for years to see it animated. That's why the announcement that it would be adapted into a trilogy of movie was such a big deal. Now let's talk about the prediction side. The movie is animated by Ufotable, the same studio behind all the Demon Slayer season and the Mugen Train movie. If you have seen their work, you know what to expect. Insane fight, choreography, beautiful lighting, and movie-level animation quality. The director is Haru Sutozaki, who has been handling Demon Slayer since the beginning. Music is by Yuki Kajura and Go Shina, the same dude behind all the emotional tracks we love. One cool detail, Ufotable reportedly increased their production budget for Infinity Castle. Some scene, especially the fights, looks even better than Mugen Train. Many fans in Japan said watching the fight in theater feel like a live performance. That's how stunning the visuals are. Even the sound design is getting attention. From the deep bass when Muzan appeared to the soft piano during emotional flashbacks, everything is carefully crafted. So, Infinity Castle is not just another Demon Slayer arc. It's designed to feel like a cinematic final from the start. So, let's dive into actual story of Infinity Castle. The movie began right after the Hashira training arc. The Demon Slayer Corps have completed their training and Muzan finally makes his move suddenly. The Slayers are pulled into a strange, shifting dimension, the Infinity Castle. This castle is controlled by Nakimi, the Biwa-playing demon, who can shift the room, floors, and walls at will. It's like a never-ending maze, and Muzan uses it to separate the Slayers and Hashira, forcing them into deadly one-on-one battle. From here, the story splits into several major fights. One of the first and most emotional fight is Akaza versus Gyu and Tanjiro. Akaza, the upper rank 3 demon, returns. He is one of the most popular villains in Demon Slayer, and this battle is brutal. Gyu, the water Hashira, teams up with Tanjiro. The fight shows off intense animation, Akaza's shockwave techniques, his martial art, and the fluid swordsmanship of Gyu. But the most powerful part of this fight is Akaza's backstory. We learn about his human past. He was once a boy named Hakuji, who struggled in poverty, stealing to help his sick father. Later, he met Koyuki, the girl he loved, but tragedy struck and he lost everything. Muzan turned him into a demon, but deep down, Akaza never forget his humanity. When Tanjiro confronts him, reminding him of his human side, Akaza finally remembers who he truly was. In one of the saddest moments, Akaza stops fight and allows himself to fade away, rather than keep killing. This scene brought many Japanese fans to tear in theaters. Some even said it's the most emotional death in the entire series. Meanwhile, another huge fight happens, Doma vs Shinobu and Kanao. Doma, the upper rank 2, is one of the coldest demon ever. He does not feel emotions and tears everything like a joke. Shinobu, the insect Hashira, finally confronts him to revenge her sister. This fight is intense because Shinobu knows she is not as physically strong as other Hashira, but she has a plan. She been filling her own body with poison strong enough to kill a demon like Doma. The battle is tragic. Shinobu sacrifices herself by letting Doma absorb her, poisoning him from the inside. Then Kanao, with the help of Inosuke, continues the fight. Together, they finish Doma once and for all. This is another tear-jerker scene because Shinobu's sacrifice is heartbreaking but also heroic. Fan in Japan said the entire theater went silent during her final movement. There are other battles too. The Stone Hashira, Koyomi Himijima fight against the strongest upper rank demon, Kukushibu, who is actually the brother of Yurichi, the original sun-breathing user. Kukushibu fights its setup in part 1 and will continue in part 2, so the movie leaves us on a huge cliffhanger. Zenitsu also gets his movement when he fights Kingaku, his former senior and rival, who become a demon. The fight is emotional because Zenitsu finally proves his strength and shows his mastery of thunder breathing. All of these battles combine action, emotions, and incredible visuals. The movie ends with Muzan finally appearing in front of the Demon Slayer corpse. After the brutal fight and heartbreaking sacrifices, the Hashira and Slayers are wounded but ready. Muzan's entrance is terrifying and Nakimi shifts the castle again, setting the stage for even deadlier battle. The screen cuts to black with the message Infinity Castle will continue in part 2. This ending left fans shocked and desperate for the next movie. Now let's talk about the number because Infinity Castle is already breaking records in Japan. The movie released on July 18, 2025 and within just a few weeks it made over 22 billion yen, that's around 150 million US dollar. To put that into perspective, this makes Infinity Castle the 6th highest grossing movie of all time in Japan. It's also the highest grossing film in Japan for 2025 so far, and that's only the Japanese box office. Once it rolls out worldwide, those numbers will climb even higher. Anime movies have been dominating globally in recent years. Remember how Mugen Train became the #1 anime movie ever, even beating some Hollywood films. Infinity Castle is one track to follow the same path. Fans are also re-watching the movie multiple times in theaters, which shows how much impact it's had. Japanese cinemas are reporting packed shows, with audience cheering during the fight and crying during emotional scene. It's not just a movie, it's an event. Let's talk about the voice actors. In Japanese version, all the main cast return. Natsuki Hanaoi as Tanjiro, Akari Kitu as Nezuko, Hiro Shimono as Zenitsu, Yujitsuku Matsuka as Inosuke, plus all the Hashira voice actor we know and love. For English dub, the main cast also return. Zach Angular as Tanjiro, Abe Trott as Nezuko, Brass Steppenbrock as Inosuke, Alex Lee as Zenitsu. But the biggest surprise is the dub is that Channing Tatum joined the castle. Yes, the Hollywood actor is voicing Kizu, the mentor figure from Akaza's tragic human past. Fans were shocked when the news dropped, but many are actually excited to hear how he performed in the role. Another newcomer is Rebecca Wang, who voices Koyuki, Akaza's beloved. Her performance was praised in early screenings for being emotional and heartfelt. So not only do we have the familiar voice, but also big name actors adding new energy to the dub. This has created a lot of buzz on social media. Now let's look at how people are reacting to the movie. On IMDb, the movie currently has rating of 8.9 out of 10, which is extremely high. On Rotten Tomatoes, critics gave it around 83%, but the audience score is above 95%. This shows that while critics are slightly mixed, the fans absolutely love it. Critics praise the animation, the emotion, storytelling, and soundtrack. Some felt that the pacing was little uneven because it's a part of trilogy, but overall the reviews are positive. Fan reaction, however, are through the roof on Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube. People are calling this is the best Demon Slayer movie so far. Many fans say they cried during Akaza's backstory and Shibuya's sacrifices. The Japanese theaters fan reported that entire audience went silent during emotional moment, and some even clapped after the big fight ended. So the general reaction is this is a must-watch movie if you are Demon Slayer fan. People are already calling it one of the anime highlights of 2025. Finally, let's talk about international release because many fans are asking when can I watch Infinity Castle. The rollout is happening in stages. In August 2025, the movie starts releasing in selected Asian countries like Singapore, Malaysia and Pakistan. On September 9, 2025, Crunchyroll's Mega and Unlimited fan subscribe in North America will get early access screening. The official international release is on September 12, 2025 across the US, UK, Canada and more countries. So if you are outside Japan, you don't have to wait long. It's coming very soon. As for streaming, Crunchyroll will likely add it later in 2026, but nothing is officially confirmed yet. There are also rumors Netflix might get the trilogy after all three movies are released, similar to how they handle Mugen Train. So wherever you are, you will get a chance to watch Infinity Castle this year or next. So what's next after part 1 of Infinity Castle? As I mentioned earlier, Infinity Castle is not just one movie, it's trilogy. Part 1, Akaza's Return, released in Japan July 2025, global release September. This part cover Akaza's fight, Shibu's sacrifices and set up Kokushibu. Part 2, Kokushibu World, expected in 2026. This will cover the massive fight against upper rank 1, Kokushibu, and the heartbreaking battle involving Goyomi, Muchiro, Sanimi, and Ginya. Fans of the manga know this is one of the most emotional and shocking battle in this entire series. Part 3, Final Battle with Muzan, expected in 2027. This will be grand finale. The Demon Slayer Cross vs Muzan himself, Tanjiro and Nezuko's fate will be revealed, and the story of Demon Slayer will finally come to an end. So these three movies together will adapt the entire final battle arc from the manga, and based on how part 1 turned out, it's clear Ufotable is going all in to give fans the best possible ending to the legendary anime. Now let's talk about some fan theories and prediction because the anime only viewers are still guessing what might happen next. Here are a few of biggest fan discussion online. Tanjiro's survival. Many fans wonder if Tanjiro will make it to the end. Some predict he might sacrifice himself to stop Muzan, while others think Nezuko will be the one to save him. Nezuko's role. Now the Nezuko has conquered the sun. She is the most important character for Muzan, who desperately wants her power. Fans believe she will play a key role in his defeat. The fate of the Hashira. Sadly, manga readers know not all Hashira will survive the Infinity Castle battles, but anime-only fans are debating who will live and who will fall. The true end of Muzan. Some fans think Tanjiro will unlock a hidden power connected to Yurichi, the legendary swordsman, and that will be the final blow against Muzan. These theories keep the hype alive, and part 2 and part 3 will finally answer all these questions. And that brings us to the end of massive breakdown of Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Part 1. We have covered everything. The story, the battle, Akaza's tragic end, Shibuya's sacrifices, the intense animation, the record-breaking box office, the castle, the dub series, review, reaction, release date, and even the future of trilogy. This movie is more than just another anime film. It's the beginning of the end for one of the most beloved anime series of all time. Now, I want to hear from you. What was your favorite part of Infinity Castle Part 1? Which battle are most excited to see in Part 2 or 3? Do you think Tanjiro will survive until the very end? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I will be reading them and replying. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. It really helps the channel to grow and keeps me motivated to bring you more anime breakdowns and reviews. Thanks for watching, and I will see